Well, I don't know. I don't know.
I see you went to a barber. That's something at least.
Recently I met a bearded guy who's not especially fussy about his appearance. And yes, people welcome him everywhere with open arms anyway.
Maybe he's a natural charmer. I've heard that can get you into the Imperial even without a tailcoat.
Very funny.
Are you getting dressed so we can go, or have you changed your plans?
Yes, let's go and see if I do fit in.
In that case, I'll go get changed too. Look at you. And here I worried I was the only one who looked good in trousers. Very chic choice.
We can switch places. I look better than you do, all in all.
That I'd like to see. You think Papa would be mad that we're going to a party right after his funeral?
I hope so.
Victor.
He could have kept from losing the Black Grimoire. Are we ready?
Yes, the carriage is waiting.
Welcome to the Imperial Hotel. How may I help you?
Ligia Szulska, here on the invitation of Svetlana Rumiantseva.
Yes, we are expecting you, of course. The soiree is taking place in apartment 237, second floor. I wish you a thrilling and successful evening.
I'm impressed. How did you sort that out?
Our name still means something. Let's do our best to keep it that way, all right?
Who are you, my golden, slithering friend?
Victor? Victor. Victor! Can you hear me?
Yes. Of course.
These people are just waiting for us to put a foot wrong, understand? We're walking into the Viper's Den, brother.
Everything's all right. I just got a little lost in thought. I'll be good, I promise. I'm going to hang around here a little longer. I'll meet you upstairs.
See you there.
Well, well, someone new.
Good evening.
Good evening, Viktor Szulski.
Irina Orlova of those Orlovs. This is Natalia Obolenskaya, and this strangely quiet soul is our delightful Sofia Skawan.
Irina is exaggerating. Nice to meet you, Mr. Szulski.
The Governor General's daughter herself. How do you do?
What can you tell us?
How are you enjoying yourselves?
We can't complain. Seeing as we're debutantes, we're getting a lot of attention.
Really?
Maybe you'll tell us something about yourself.
I suspect you want to hear more about the book.
We've never met a Thaumaturgist before. To tell the truth, I didn't believe they existed.
a Thaumaturge. Don't worry. But now you do.
Well, it depends on what kind of trick you show us, Mr. Shulsky.
I need to slip away for a moment.
Oh no, what a shame.
What did we come here for? These soirees are for old people.
Good evening. May I?
Please, we're not discussing anything consequential.
You keep on worrying about yourselves. I intend to make the most of this evening.
See, I told you he was in love. Miss Scowan is out of your league, my friend.
To say nothing of her father.
Old Scowan and I are practically on first-name terms now. You'll see.
I'm sure.
So, one eye-catching girl has already got an admirer. What does that leave us, Maxime?
Not much. The dull, the silly, or, well, the old.
En parlant de Ligia Shulska, she just passed this way.
Pigs will fly before someone fancies her.
She'd actually prefer Sophia Scowan, according to what I've heard. Well, what do you think?
My name is Viktor Shulsky.
Well, there we have it.
I'm afraid we've got a few things to explain to one another. Preferably through violence.
I don't think so, Mr. Shulsky.
Where are you from? You're among polite society, not cattle.
I'm not the only one itching for a brawl, am I? What? Is one guy more than you can handle?
Let's take this out to the forecourt, gentlemen.
Sergei, my friend, anything for you.
Our Mr. Shulsky?
I've heard a certain secret. Do you want to hear it?
Come now, we won't tell anyone.
Someone was recently playing with the lock on one of the gilded cages, wondering what would happen if all the birds escaped captivity. And I know for certain it was one of you.
Sophia, that sounds like you. Admit it.
And now what will happen to us, Mr. Shulsky?
I assure you, your secrets are safe with me. On one condition.
What's that?
In exchange for my discretion, I need another secret of yours. That's the only way to keep everyone in check.
What should I choose?
Our fathers don't know we're here. There you are.
How naughty. None of your fathers know?
None. Especially not Sophia's. Otherwise he wouldn't have let her come.
I'm very satisfied with this trade.
And what now?
How are you enjoying yourselves?
We can't complain. Seeing as we're debutantes, we're getting a lot of attention.
Really? And what now?
I need to slip away for a moment.
We should go as well. We've really forgotten ourselves around you.
That's nice to hear, but I understand. The soiree won't wait.
I hear Rumyantseva has invited a real medium.
Will there be ghosts? That I'd like to see.
Mr. Shulsky?
I didn't expect to see you here, of all places.
You don't know how very flattering that is. And what brings you to the Imperial?
The cream of Warsaw society is here, so I thought it would be worth showing my face.
With a name like yours, I'm sure you fit right in. After all, someone must have invited you.
The friend of a friend of a friend is throwing this party, so you might say I know the hostess.
Rumyantseva herself? Look at you.
And who invited you?
The friend of a friend of a friend. What are you hoping for this evening?
Who knows? Maybe I'm keeping an eye out for the future Mrs. Shulska.
Best of luck. You'll need it, since Lygia ended up with the entire inheritance.
How do you know all these things?
People talk, I listen. That's all.
And what are you doing here, Mr. Konieczkin?
I'm passing the time.
Ah, curious hobby.
I'm simply interested in people.
A doctor, thaumaturge, or policeman could say the same.
Your interest flatters me. Who knows? Maybe the apple hasn't fallen far from the tree, and someday we'll even be friends.
How well did you know my tree?
We enjoyed talking and lending one another a hand.
If I may, there's one question niggling at me. How did you get so many scars?
Why do you ask?
I've heard that Russian officers in training have drunken duels with sabers after hours.
No. A very peculiar custom, if that's true.
So where did those scars come from?
I've led an interesting life.
Who did you say you were to my father?
A trusted acquaintance. I supported him with good advice. Though truth be told, he rarely needed it. Your father had a gift for making good decisions.
Which of my father's decisions would those be?
Ones that were good for your family. Perhaps we'll have the chance to return to this another time. Goodbye, Mr. Shulsky.
Yes, I'm sure.
And the general says to him, "Tell us something funny." Then Bautski replies, "General, why don't you shoot a cannon first?"
That's a good one. I'll have to tell it tomorrow at the Orloffs.
Who might this be joining our conversation?
You know, sir, your face looks familiar to me.
My name is Viktor Shulsky.
Ah, yes, I can see something in your eyes. I was sorry to hear about your father.
I'll see you next time, darling. Wonderful party.
See you there.
I think I've offended the creme de la creme of Warsaw.
This is hardly the creme de la creme. How do you find my soirée?
I admit I'm getting reacquainted with the social scene.
You spent a long time traveling, didn't you?
15 years. Over that time, I got used to harsher surroundings.
And believe me, drawing rooms can be just as dangerous as untamed steppes. You've met Anastasia and Marina. What about the others?
The crux of the matter is that I'm here because of my father. You knew him.
That doesn't sound like a question. Of course, I was his customer. I truly am sorry for you, both of you. The death of someone close is always a dreadful blow. Please accept my condolences.
Svetlana Petrovna, I must insist. Can you tell me something more about my father?
Mr. Shulsky, I assure you we have the most delectable vodka. Besides that, I warmly encourage you to join Madame Samira's séance. It will be an unforgettable experience. I wonder, is that truly everything our soirée can offer you?
I've got no choice but to suffer through tonight.
No need to mince words.
Thaumaturge never fails me. There is something... Good evening.
The energy can't be disrupted.
Do you know the hostess well?
Will you leave me alone if I say I don't?
No.
Svetlana Petrovna invited me, and I am doing my best to meet her expectations. Let's keep out of one another's way.
I saw one of your posters. You look different in it.
Really? The illustration doesn't reflect reality?
How should I take that? No one warned me that I should get in costume for the party.
I beg your pardon.
I'm just noting that you stand out among these boring guests.
Impudent.
Just a bit uncouth, I'd say. Whose soul are you summoning tonight, dear madame?
I only know which one I'd prefer to banish. Shoot!
Maybe my dead father's. If you manage that, it would spare me a lot of trouble.
Now we'll never know.
I will stop disrupting the energy here until I return. Here you are.
Gentlemen, meet my brother.
Viktor Szulski.
The last Szulski to wear trousers. You don't know that. Miss Ligia could yet produce an heir to the fortune.
Maybe even with me, if she doesn't tell my wife.
But let's talk like men. You intend to take over your father's company, correct?
Gentlemen, my sister knows what she's doing. Across the world, women rule over entire societies, like Great Britain. Do you remember Queen Victoria?
I suppose it's true what they say about you?
Yes? What's that?
You've lost your mind.
It's true. I'm completely nuts. I can't tell what's true and what's a bluff.
Good luck with your business, miss.
Yeah. Now I can forget about anyone wanting to say a word to me.
You've always got me. Listen, as far as those two are concerned, I just didn't like how they were treating you.
I'm used to it, Victor. Their words don't bother me. I can cope. Any progress with Svetlana?
Guess who I ran into again? All mysterious and carved up.
Ivan Konieczkin?
What do you know about him?
Not much. He was an acquaintance of Papa's. Well, in theory, it's thanks to him that we're here.
What? Ligia?
I know that nothing comes for free, but he really didn't want anything.
Yeah, he looks like a real altruist. Unfortunately, Svetlana doesn't want to breathe a word of it.
I'm sure she doesn't trust you. In company like this, that speaks well of her.
Why the cold shoulder, Ligia?
I've never liked her. Her manner gets under my skin. I've heard she's a dreadful schemer.
I'd better change the subject. Sofia Skawan, the Governor General's daughter. Do you know her?
No, and I don't suggest you make her acquaintance either. Skawan can't stand thaumaturges.
You enjoying yourself in this viper's den?
The vodka is quite tolerable. I'm observing my own brother taking out his anger on ordinary mortals.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Really? Because I heard a certain conflict took place in the forecourt.
Hey, they started it. I was just defending your honor.
Again?
Unfortunately, Svetlana doesn't want to breathe a word of it.
I'm sure she doesn't trust you. In company like this, that speaks well of her.
Why the cold shoulder, Ligia?
I've never liked her. Her manner gets under my skin. I've heard she's a dreadful schemer.
I'd better change the subject. I'm going.
and the aura once again lies in ruins.
I will stop disrupting the energy here until I return. May I have a word?
You want anything else?
I'm going. I felt something. Where is it? I was looking for you.
Do you smoke, Mr. Shulsky?
I've quit.
In light of our approaching conversation, why don't we dispense with the pleasantries? Call me Svetlana.
Victor.
Ask.
That large travel chest. You changed your mind.
About whether or not to pack. Right then I wanted to escape badly, but that would have had its own consequences. In this game of false appearances, I'm the best.
The burned note. Who sent it? I only sensed underhanded kindness.
Da, the Ochrana. I don't know which one of them exactly, if that's what you're asking. I've worked hard at it.
When did you receive this note?
A few weeks ago, back before your father.
I see. You two had an affair.
Two grown-up, lonely people found momentary comfort in each other's arms. But romance wasn't behind that relationship. It was just that we were both looking in the same direction.
What do you mean by looking in the same direction? I still don't know how this lovely note ended up in your hands. But in addition, I found a lovely strings of pearls, and on it, your feelings of guilt.
Your power is terrifying. Do you know that?
I hoped you might know something about the Black Grimoire. My father left it to me in his will, but the grimoire has gone missing.
No. And the collapsed building? Have you been there?
Not yet.
However, how hard it is, you should check there. It will give you more understanding than all the investigators put together. My dear boy, I know nothing about Stanisław's book. I'm sorry, but I can't help you there. But I will not let you leave empty-handed. I strongly believe that there's one place you ought to visit. What you find there belongs to you.
Thank you.